I have made it onto the pond I'm gonna be fishing this evening, and I do have about 2.5 hours to fish this evening, which I think is plenty of time to land some fish. And this pond in particular is deep and clear, and I typically don't always have the best days here, but I know there's good fish to be caught here. I just think catching fish on a pretty pressured pond is just more fun. Actually, as I was getting onto this pond, people were leaving. On top of that, a lot of this pond, this structure is offshore. So because I typically don't use any electronics whatsoever, it's just tough to target some of the offshore structure, because this pond is basically shaped like a bowl. Shallow on the sides, deep in the middle. And the fish really don't hang out around the edges of this pond because it's just really shallow and kind of sandy. And I brought 3 rods with me this evening, and I'll go through them as I use them. But I'm gonna be starting off with this jig. This is a 3/8 of an ounce jig from Beast Coast. And on the trailer, I have this orange Gary Yamamoto flappin hog, it's called. And I really like the color. The color is pumpkin with black and green fleck. And a lot of the crawfish in my area have like this bright orange color to them. So I think this will be almost like a perfect color. And I do have to say, the Gary Yamamoto trailer was not my idea. It looks super amazing in my opinion. I don't know, I just think this looks like super lifelike. But I just have to say, I got the idea from Blanchard. He uses the Gary Yamamoto flappin hog, and I just thought that jig combination looked super cool, so I had to try it out myself. But the way I'm going to be tackling this pond this evening, because I've been here probably about a dozen times before, I kind of know where it drops off to where you can't see the bottom, and that's where I'm going to be putting the boat. As soon as I can stop seeing the bottom, which is about 10 feet of water here, that's where I'm going to be parking the boat, and I'm going to be casting into about 15 feet of water. And then I'm just going to be dragging the jig on the bottom. Nothing fancy. And I don't know if I said this earlier, but there's smallmouth and largemouth in this pond here. This pond actually has a 50-foot hole in the middle of it. So I call it a pond, but I mean, I guess it could be a lake. Oh, yeah. Such a bad hook set on my part. I hope he doesn't spit such a bad hook set on my part. Good smallie. Good smallie. Oh, he is fighting so hard. Oh, come back. Yes. Doesn't even matter that I got a bad hook set. Still got him in the boat. What a fatty. Boop. Look at this football. Wow. Oh. That is a fat smallmouth. Oh, that's so cool. Thank you for biting. Nice. That feels like a big one. That feels like a big one. That feels like a big one. It is a big one. I think it's a big largemouth. It's a big smallie. No, 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 no. Come on. Don't fail me now. It's a big largemouth. Yeah. Look at the size of this largemouth. That is a 5-pounder all day right here. Look how fat this one is too. Like, oh my goodness. These fish are just well fed right now on the jig. I saw this one eat something, or try to eat something at the top of the surface, flip the jig over, and he hammered it. Hammered it. Let's go. I should really start using my underwater camera. It's another one. I'm gonna start calling this the Greg jig. All right, so I'm seeing a school of fish right in front of me here, and I also brought a jerkbait with me, so I think to imitate that little school of fish in front of me, I think the jerkbait will be a little bit better. Oh my goodness, did you guys see that? There's a ton of bait fish right there. Look at all of them. I'm surprised nothing is chasing them right now. Yeah. Oh wow, look at that. They're right there now. That's a bite. Got him. Good smallie. Got him. Really good smallie. So I guess they're liking the jig, but that's another fat bass. It's like a twin to the first one I caught. Not very long, but stocky. Little guy. Well, I guess not as little as I thought, but about a pounder here. on the Greg jig. Got him. But another pounder there. Oh my God, hammered it. Got him. Got him. Got him. Absolutely hammered it. Wow. Wow. No doubter. Look at the size of this smallmouth. I hope you guys can see. He had that Greg jig all the way down in his gullet. Are you kidding me right now? What a nice smallmouth. He absolutely hammered it. There you guys go. A solid smallmouth here. About a 3-pounder. Wow. That smallmouth hammered this jig so hard it was a no-doubter. That was a no-doubt fish. Got him. Another one underneath that dock. Oh my God. Oh my God, another one underneath that dock. This one might even be bigger. It's pulling so hard. It is bigger. And it just snapped my line. All right, another solid smallmouth. As you guys obviously can tell, it's getting dark, but I'm still catching fish on the jig. This is the second smallmouth that came off of this dock. You guys can't see that, but there she goes. So that is it for this evening, and overall I had a pretty good evening. I was only out here for like 2 hours and I caught a good amount of smallmouth today. And it was just like a green pumpkin and black jig with some red tinsel in it. Now I think these Beast Coast jigs are super cool and they're not super expensive for a tungsten jig. I was pleasantly surprised how well this jig worked this evening. Now this is the first time that I used this Gary Yamamoto flappin hog, and I was super impressed by this. I saw Greg Blanchard put this on the back of his jig, and when I saw that combination, I'm like, wow, I definitely need to try that out. And it definitely did not disappoint. I think I'm gonna call every jig I have with this trailer a Greg jig. But I come out with videos every single week. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Peace.